Hi, welcome back to a new section. In this section, you will learn to use regular expressions. So in this lecture, I'll explain you what regular expressions are. First thing you should know is that regular expressions are used when you are dealing with text. And when you're dealing with text, a good tool to use is a Jupyter notebook style environment, such as Jupyter Lab, which is a local solution, or cloud-based solutions such as DeepNote or Google Colab. I'm using DeepNote in my case, so feel free to use any Jupyter notebook. Or you can also use your own IDE such as Visual Studio Code or PyCharm or REPL, so any IDE will do. But I suggest to use Jupyter notebooks, such as the ones I'm using on DeepNote. So if you want to use DeepNote, go to deepnote.com, create a free account, and then go to New Project, and you create a new Jupyter notebook. Then I'll give a name to my new notebook. I'll change it from Untitled Python Project to Regular Expressions. Press Enter to change the name. And so now we have this notebook. You can simply run code here. So just this is a cell, this is where we write code. So print hello, execute with Control Enter or Command Enter, and you get the output. You can add more code here, print hello again, press Command Enter, and so on. Now back to regular expressions. What are regular expressions? Well, regular expressions basically are a set of characters, special characters that we write in Python. For example, a dash z means any lowercase letter between a and z. Dot means any possible character. 0 to 9 means any possible number, and so on. So by giving these special characters, you are searching in a string for text patterns. Let me give you an example. Let's suppose we have some text file in our current directory here, and we want to process those files. As you know from the previous section on file and folder operations, you could get a list of file names using the path.itterdir method. So that should give you something like file names, a list basically, which contains all the file names, which could be something like nov12.txt, november14.txt, perhaps oct for October 17.txt. You could have nov22.txt, and so on. So we could have 1,000 files. Now, what if your task was to extract only the files that have a particular name pattern? For example, you only want the files from the 1st of November to the 20th of November. So in that case, in our small example here, you'd have to extract this file name, that, but not these two. So you want to automate the way to extract only those files that have the file name related to 1st of November up to the 20th of November. In that case, you have to use regular expressions. You have to create a pattern using a regular expression, so a set of special characters. So by creating that pattern, you are instructing Python, you are giving instructions to extract only those file names that have the pattern, such as, for example, we want to say start with nov, then have a dash, and then have a number from 1 to 20. So that's the idea, that's what we want to do in our mind, but we want to translate that into this set of characters and then filter those out. So that's what we're going to do in the next video. So that is a list of strings, but you could also have just one single string. For example, it could be just some simple text such as "Hi there, you here," and then you have perhaps some email addresses such as example.example.com, some more text here and there, and then perhaps you have another email address, another at example.de, and so on. So in this other example, your task could be to extract the email addresses only from this big piece of text. Again, you'd have to write a regular expression where you'd say have any number of characters and then followed by at. So that's the distinct part of an email address. All email addresses have this at symbol, and then followed by another set of characters, any number of characters, followed by a dot, and followed by another set of characters, which could be com, de, etc. So the final output would be a list of all the email addresses. So those are two typical examples of using regular expressions. You have probably also encountered regular expressions in programs such as word processors, say Microsoft Office, where there is a built-in tool that allows you to write a regular expression. So a regular expression is not exclusive to Python. Regular expressions are basically a language. You can write those expressions in other programs as well. Microsoft Office, as an example. Also Python. However, writing regular expressions inside Python takes you to another level because you can do everything with Python. You can combine the search with another operation after that. So for example, here you want to extract these email addresses and then send an email to all those email addresses. So Python allows you to do that because you have libraries for everything. So you have libraries for sending out emails, and perhaps you want to save these into a CSV file. You have pandas, the pandas library for that as well. So Microsoft Word is just a tiny dot compared to Python, to what Python can do. So I hope that gives you some insights on what regular expressions are, but you'll see them in practice. So in the next video, we will be working on this email example. Extract the email addresses from this piece of text. So see you in the next video.